Hello, good morning, happy art day, welcome. Time to do artwork. Are you ready? Are you ready to do art? To do art, not the other way around. It's Monday that I'm filming. It's quite early. I can't speak, obviously, but I'm gonna try nonetheless. And today I'm working on the March Random Act of Kindness project. And here's a couple of housekeeping things first. So I'm filming this a couple of weeks ahead because the week that I would actually have filmed this, I want to have a free day on Monday because, well, it's actually a week when my hubby has a vacation. So I want to have one day off during the week. And also, well, it's spring here and we're actually planning to go plant shopping to plant new stuff on our balcony. So I'm going to work on that while I'm planning to work on that while I actually should have, well, recorded this video. So I'm recording 2 weeks ahead. So if anything very big happens in the world meanwhile, and I do not address it, it's because I'm way from the past. But let's talk art, let's talk random act of kindness. So the object that I want to send this week or this month is flower and herb seeds that people can plant. And I got 3 times the same flowers that I want to send, and 2 different kinds of herbs. One is chive, and one is like a watercress weed thing. I don't know. So I just chose those because those bags do actually fit in these bags. Width-wise, I have to bend the top a bit. And I have 3 of those bags that came with the paper loving book from Flow. But I'm sending 5 packages, so guess what? I have to make 2 more. And then I want to decorate those with spring themes, stuff, stamps and such. So I also do have the paper here that I want to work with for the bags. I also did write the letters, and I do have the envelopes. Again, I'm using the Flow stationery because I had some more and I liked the colors. If I have time at the end, I'm gonna put those letters together on camera. Otherwise, you have to go back to the February Random Act of Kindness project. It's linked in the iCards up above, because there I'm definitely doing that on camera and it's the same thing. So let's start with building bags. So what I have is some brown paper, or, well, it's a heavier paper, but not yet cardstock. But it's flexible enough so that I can actually bend it nicely and make those bags. Also, well, they are just a bag around those flower seeds, and I'm not planning on having super heavy decorations on it, so I should be fine with paper. But what I need is, hold on, where is it? There we go. I need to measure one of these bags to know what I actually have to have. So that's 7.7 centimeters. I just could put it at the inch mark actually. So that's 3 1/8 of an inch. So I need 1 part that is 3 1/8. I'm gonna score there. Then I need another 3 1/8. That's 6 1/4. Yes, correct. This is what you call math. Then I need the flaps to actually glue this back, and I'm going to take 1/4 inch. That's enough for me. I have to go pretty slow on these scoring boards because otherwise I just jump. I'm not able to do that nicely. I also need 1/4 inch. Well, let's do 1/2 inch on the bottom. No, it's actually, what is that? Yeah, it's 1/2 inch. Do that on the bottom because I need a gluing flap there as well. Okay. So the bag sits like this. Then I need it sits like this. Let's go with this one here. So that's 5 3/4. Okay, and the same thing once more. That's 3 1/8, I think. Yep. I could have measured the thing with centimeters and then converted into inches. But guess what? I'm just a tiny bit lazy here. I don't want to convert everything. I'm just measuring things the way I did. It works the same way. It's gonna fit. But I don't know the exact centimeters. I guess I don't have to, folks. I don't have to. So this is here at this mark. And then at the five 3/4. So now that I have my 2 bags scored, score! Oh, I need this one. I still need my folding knife, but I don't need the scoring board anymore. I actually need to cut things. For one, all the way around. For one, I have to cut this part here that I'm not gonna use. And for the rest, I'm gonna use my scissors because I'm gonna cut around things. Where is it? Here's the score line. No, it's not intended like this. There we go. So this would have been, the paper size would have measured things beforehand, which I don't. So now I have to get rid of things, but first I want to score stuff because it just makes it easier for me to cut. So I actually don't necessarily need a bone folder, but I need a paper pad or something. Hold on, I'm gonna get a paper pad or something. Yeah, let's go with a paper pad. Just, ouch. Just a tiny bit of cushion underneath. This already helps, you know. So, don't actually need the bone folder, but I can use it because this is just paper and it pretty much bends to my will with just a finger, but I want to have very crisp folds, so I'm going to use my bone folder, guys. This is the bottom. There we go, and now for the last fold. Goes like this. So, what I have to cut now is I'm doing this. I have to cut. Hold on. This does this, this does this. I'm gonna have to cut from here to there. All the way. This stays, this does not. So all the way to the center fold, I have to cut. So this goes like this and like this, and we're good to go there. See? And then you can close it with a flap. I'm going to, I need a circle cutter. I've got the circle cutter. Oh gosh, what's wrong with me today? Totally forget everything. It's not great, but I'm going to put these things into the trash first. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the second bag before I start gluing. Just fold. Fold. And by folding against the way you scored, you have less paper fiber tearing, and that gives you crisper lines. So you see I fold against the bump instead of the other way around, which makes this a very crisp fold in the end. So easy, right? Now I'm going to cut the same ways. Center fold to a point, and then this little rectangle, and up here same thing. All right. There we go. Now I can get my sticky tape, and I do have here, and I can glue things. But before I want to glue things, I want to use my corner rounder and my circle punch on each of these lovely little baggies to be, because I want the edges of the flap that will come down. Okay, need to do it that way. Because I want them to look nice, finished, and for whatever reason, rounded corners do that They make them look nice. Also, yeah, let's do the corner rounders first. So, number 1, number 2. Okay, that was that. Very simple, right? And now, is that right? And now I want to make it easier for the folks that get these bags to pull out the plant bags, the seed bags. So I'm going to have half a circle cut in here, which just makes it easier to grab things in the bag. So let's get rid of this paper pieces and I can put away my punches, and now I can glue things. So I take sticky tape because I don't have anything like fuse or whatever, because I'm not a card maker or a paper crafter. I'm more of a painter, and I, well, sometimes make gift boxes and stuff. And I don't need 100 million types of different kind of dry glue or tape. I just, well, I'm fine the few times that I make things like that a month. I'm fine to use sticky tape. Though it's not the perfect thing with the peeling, it can be a bit hideous to try and pull away the release paper, but I actually don't mind. Oh, what I forgot, I have to notch into, hold it, totally forgot. I have to notch a tiny bit into these fellas, otherwise, again, the bag will look hideous. So let's do that right away. Maybe a bit too much with the notching, but well. Again, let's get rid of the cardstock or the paper, whatever you want to call it. And I just have to have a tiny bit of sticky tape here. And then, my dears, I'm going to try and get the release paper of the tape away, and then I can glue the bags. And that is actually very simple. The bags that came with the Flow magazine do have a fancy closing mechanism, the one with where you twist some yarn or twine around two round things. But I don't have these mechanisms, so what I'm going to do with these, I'm just going to use a sticker that holds down the flap. That's all. Not gonna do anything super duper fancy there. So there we go. This is going to be interesting. Let's start with one that has the glue on longer, so maybe it's easier for me to get rid of the release paper. And of course, because I'm super smart, I did shorten my nails just before I do these kinds of filmings, and I don't have, there we go. I don't have one of these super thin pokey tools. I would have got to get a needle or something. Please just work, please. please, please, please. This is the only thing I don't like about the sticky tape. It does a beautiful job otherwise, but this is just hideous. Anyway, gonna fold down this one first. I'm gonna pray to the gods of crafting that this is going to work. There we go, number one. To fold this flap in. Oh, this is nice. This doesn't look too shitty, I guess. Yeah, it could. Yeah, worked. There we go. Straight fold. Awesome. And now I do have a bag. I can be silly with, or I could actually put in the plants. But there's one thing that I do not like, and on the first go, the corner jumper here did mess up my paper, so I have to repair that with my tiny scissors. But that's number one. Let's go with the second one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, I hope. Doing the same thing. Trying to get the release paper. Oh, come on, please. Ah, there we go. Number one. Just fold this. There we go, and now the other paper. No, wrong, no. Oh, come on. Of course, the last strip is gonna give me grief here, is it? Man, I hate it. This is so much time that I'm gonna lose like that. Oh, come on. Please, paper. I haven't started, but I cannot grab the release paper. There we go. Ah, this was difficult. So let's fold this in. There we go, and fold it all along the bag line, and there we have it, second bag. So now, my dears, it's time to test if I actually measured it correctly. And it would be so funny and still so, excuse my French, shitty, if they wouldn't fit, but I hope they do. These are quite the pokies here. What's going on with you? So, of course they don't. Come on, get in here. There we go, they do. So, fits. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I can put the plants away now because I'm gonna start working on decoration now. First, I have to grab the other bags. Whoops. What I want to do is throw away the sticky tape because I can. Obviously. Oh gosh. I'm all over the place today, folks. I'm sorry. This is the mechanism I was talking about, that I don't have anything like that. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is stamp my handmade by Pinselgeschichten in the beginning, otherwise I will probably forget it, or I will actually Hold on, this is going to be difficult. Do I have enough space? I have to test something. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. So, if I put it around, will I have enough space to stamp? Yeah, well, I just really have to start right underneath that wheel thing. And on the two that I made, I just start higher. So what I want to do is do the stamping of my handmade buttons, which is first, because otherwise it's very likely that I'm going to forget that. Because, well, that is what I do. I forget things. So let's be careful and stamp it right up. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And my audio recording just died. I hope the camera picks it up nice enough, the audio. So if it's not great this time around, I'm sorry, folks. Just realized that I lost batteries in my audio equipment. But don't have any charged batteries up here where I could actually do things about it. So I have to work with the audio. That is on the camera, and I hope that it will work. So let's stamp the second one. Alright, one more, and then I can just put the stamping freely where I want it to be, because I don't have to take care of those wheels anymore. So I'm not going to decorate the bags at the back, just the front part. Because with those turning wheelie things here, it's really difficult to decorate them and not have it look weird. So I'm going to take the same way of decorating to all of the bags, though I could actually have decorated the bag here a bit more. But that's fine, I'm gonna have a sticker there, so that's in lieu of the turning wheelie things off the Flow magazine bags. And I'm so sorry, folks, I cannot talk. It's awesome. Great. It's not. This is bad sarcasm here. And once more. And I now really want to look if I have other batteries that I could use for my audio, because I don't like that. Now I will dig around. I'm gonna have a harsh cut here in a second, and then I hopefully come back with better audio. It bugs me big time, folks. It bugs me. Yay, I'm such a genius. Audio should be better now. I found batteries for my audio equipment. So, meanwhile also the ink dried here, and I want to test something before I go on to the next part. So, I want to test this flower here. Oh, come to mama. There we go. I want to see. Yeah, it really fits nicely on these bags size-wise, and on here just as well. So this is the flower that I'm gonna work with later. Or am I? Yeah, I really actually want to, because tulip says spring to me, and roses, well, that's more summer, so I'm gonna leave that rose stamp down here for summer. But before I stamp on paper, I want to actually decorate the to bend this down for a sec here. I actually want to decorate the background of these bags here. And you saw just a minute ago that I'm planning to use these borders. They're like washi tape, but with like real crocheted or whatever cloth yarn, and they have a rather strong adhesive, so I want to have either the light rose color or the yellow color. I'm starting with rose color, and only if I run out of it I'm going to use yellow. So I want to have that at the bottom, and then the big tulip. And I need something more in the background. What I want to do is use gesso for that. Gesso and palette knives. It's a good thing. So it's rather simple. What I want to do is just, so, see, here's my spatula. What I want to do is dip it into the gesso. Gently, and then just do patterns on here. Just lines that might be a bit interesting to the eye. To dip things a bit more. What I could also do, which would be a nice idea, on the bottom, swipe white gesso upwards. Especially on the corner where I'm planning to have my tulip. And gesso is kind of chalky when it is dry, so I can actually go on top with either color pencils or ink or whatever I so desire, and I still can see things there and have things work. All right, there we go, number one. Number two, pretty much going to do the same thing, but I'm gonna start with the swiping from the bottom because I'm gonna put the pattern on top anyways, so I don't have to go over it twice. And they're all kind of similar, those bags, but they're never the same because I never can exactly repeat the pattern that I'm gonna get from using the palette knife or the spatula here on top. And I'm never gonna have the same exact lines that I'm going to put down, and that's fine. Every bag is a one of a kind. It has siblings, but no twins, so to say. And they have to dry quite a bit. That's why I want to do that before I go to the next step and go back to stamping, inking, you know. just to leave those bags as much time to dry as I can give them without the blow dryer. If I'm done with everything and I still need to dry things, yeah, I'm going to use my blow dryer, of course, but if I can use my time here as efficiently as possible, I'm not gonna be sad about that. It's actually one thing that I really like, if I can use drying times of things that I'm creating just as efficiently for other stuff as I like. So yeah. Anyway, number 3. Now for the lighter bags here, the contrast won't be as big, but it's gonna work nonetheless, I think. Again, I could always have other materials used on these bags. They don't all have to be exactly the same. I can, for example, have a bit of, I don't know, bit of ink or rose-colored pencil or whatever in the background here, just to have a bit more contrast, because I don't have the dark brown cardstock. Or I could even use a bit of a darker ink to outline some of those lines or something. There's so many possibilities that I could go with. Would I not like the light on light color there? But so far I do, so I'm gonna leave that option open, that I'm going to add things, but I also want to see first how busy things are with the color tulip on top and the border on the lower part of the bag, the one that I showed you, the crocheted one, you know. So I want to see that first before I do decide things. What I just realized, what I haven't told you yet, is what city are those 5 letters going to this month? Well, it's the 3rd month, so in the alphabet we're at the letter C. And here's a little history tidbit. I grew up in a town called Chemnitz, which starts with a C. So I thought, well, I don't really know anybody there. I don't know anymore. At least not people that do work in public offices or whatever. So I think it's still gonna be random if I send it to a city that I grew up in so many years ago, and see if, well, people like it there, like the random act of kindness there. So they are going to Chemnitz. This is what I'm going to send those letters to. I haven't decided which public offices I'm going to take. I haven't looked through the all the web pages of public offices yet, so I'm going to do that between now and sending off those letters. If you're curious, you can always check the blog post. I will have put the public offices there that I did send things to. So there we go. Now these gessoed up things can dry there, and I can go on to stamping. Now, if you know me for a while and you have watched this show for a while, you know that this table that I'm working on is not really good for stamping. At least not if I want a really crisp, good impression of things, which I do, folks, in this case. I don't want second generation stamping, I want first generation stamping. So what I'm gonna do is very quickly, I'm going to move to the chair next to me and stamp this tulip 5 times on watercolor paper. This piece to be exact, because I want to watercolor those, or use Neo colors actually, to color these tulips. And I'm going to stamp them with the same black ink. Just quickly gonna move. I'm sorry that this is off camera, but I think you all know how you stamp stamps, I guess. Maybe. Probably. I'm very sure. I'm just gonna ink this up. And then I'm gonna let the flowers dry for a hot minute, because this ink is archival, but it has to dry before it's not bothered by any water anymore. And since I'm going to use Neo colors on top to color the base coat of the tulips, I definitely want the ink to be dry and not anything to smudge. I'm not only using Neo colors to color, but I'm using it for the watercolory base coat. If I want any details or shading going on the tulips, I will use colored pencils on top. I haven't decided yet if I want that, because the line work of this particular stamp here is actually pretty heavy. So I might only need so much of shading. But if I want shading, I'm just gonna use my what's it called? My colored pencils. And I just realized something, and I'm super stupid. I'm gonna show you in a minute. You're gonna have a giggle. And then it's time to repair things or optimize things. Let's put it this way. But first, I have to stamp one more flower. And this can dry as well. You know, hold it. Okay. You know how clear stamps are really cool because they're see-through? Yeah. The disadvantage is that they make sense both ways when you put them down. So the way you stamp them and the way you don't stamp them. And in the beginning, when I did put the tulip down, I actually put it down this way. But this is not the way they are stamped. The stamp comes out this way. So the tulip is the other way around, meaning that I need, first of all, to clean my stamp here from any ink that I have, and I don't really have any ink anymore. It's just on the block. Yeah, so I can put away the stamp and the block. And then I have to add some more detail to my bags with the gesso. So I have to get back to the gesso. And gesso things up. But in that time, actually, my stamped image can dry, so it's fine. It's fine that not everything is perfect here. Where's my gesso? There it is. So I have to get to the bags and add some line work on the left-hand side. This is so not as planned. Because I actually wanted the brown bag to peek through a bit more, but well, we'll see what it's gonna look like in the end. Just a little bit of addition on here. I'm sorry if audio of the background is kind of hideous today, but it's actually warm weather here, so I can work with the window open, and I'm not working through the night currently. It's actually something 11:30 in the morning. So people do ride their Vespas and whatnot. And of course they do that when I don't talk that very second. Alright, so that's enough for the bags. This should work now. Alright. Put the gesso away. And now, here are my stamped tulips. I'm gonna give them a blast with my blow dryer just to make sure that the ink really is dry. And then I'm gonna give them the base coat with Neo colors. This looks pretty good. Yeah, that's nice. So, I said I would use as much of the pink or rose-colored border on the lower part of the back as I could. So I'm going to stay with the pinks or the rose colors. Let me see what is a nice. I'll actually take pink. So hold on, I have to show you. So I do have the full set of the Neo Color 2s. They are water soluble crayons by Caran d'Ache. They come in 2 trays, and I swatched them out, and I'm going to use this part here for putting down the color. So the color that I want is number 81, pink, which is, should be this one. Yeah. That's all the crayon I need. Gotta move the tin now so that you can see things that I'm doing, but still, ta-da. See, that works. So, for the green part, the leaves, what am I gonna take? I'm gonna take a fresh green as well, a very light one, because I want to, well, put depth and definition and stuff on top with colored pencils. So I want a fresh green that fits with this one here. So I think the bright green would work pretty well. So I'm going to take the bright green. There we are. I'm not gonna color the stem with it because again I have to cut around this tulip and am I gonna... I was thinking maybe leaving a white border around it. No, I'm not. So I can actually color the stem with it. So what I'm gonna do now, you can see, is I'm gonna put down some pink pigment. And then I'm gonna pick it up with my water brush. See? And then I'm going to color those leaves. And I'm going to have the shading, like I said, done with the colored pencils. So I just need a light layer of rose color. Don't know why this one is called pink in the set, because it's actually more of a rose color or a pale pink maybe. For whatever reason, when I hear pink, I think of a hot pink, not of those rose colors. Oh gosh, talking, Miss King. Talking is really not my forte today, I'm sorry. So there we go. So since I'm going to cut those flowers without the white border around them, it actually doesn't matter if I color outside the lines, because I'm going to cut that part anyway. So why make it more difficult on myself, right? So okay, same goes with the green. Little bit of bright green. Cleaning my brush and going in. I want this rather to be, oh gosh, I'm sorry folks, to be not as neon colory, so I'm gonna add quite a bit of water to tone this down and to leave me later on some time to add some nice shading. And I'm not gonna use any high quality super duper colored pencils for that. I'm just using my cheapies, so ones that I worked with in school. Yes, they are Faber-Castells as well, but they're not artist quality by any means. They're the ones that you find in grocery stores, or 60 different kinds of colors for 17 euros on Amazon or something like that. They're really not the high quality super duper polychromos or any Holbeins or luminance or Prismacolors, all of those rather artist quality pencils. They're not that. And I don't need them to be, because I actually find that those cheap pencils work really, really well on top of either watercolor, I have to look behind me, Inktense, or the Neo colors here. So I have a layer underneath, some color underneath. I can actually work better with the cheap kind of pencils, then I can work with, say, the polychromos that I have. I'm not using the polychromos with this kind of technique on top of watercolor a lot. I use it here and there, but I do prefer the cheap pencils for that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to dry this off camera. Oh, well, I'm going to cut it out anyway, but I mean the footage, but I'm going to dry it off camera because I do have the bags laying there and I don't want them to blow away. All right. So this doesn't look like a lot right now, but now I'm going to bring in my cheap pencils. And I do have the correct ones right on top. That's great. I need those. I definitely need those. And I need those. The other colors I shouldn't need. So I do put them in rubber bands, all the colors together from all the different kinds of sets that I do have. And then I'm going to look through what I want. I do have a test paper with me to see what color I want. And I actually want quite the hot pinks now. It's a bit too light. Maybe more that color. It's almost a bit too red. But just almost. That's too hot of a pink. Difficult. Maybe this one? No, too cold. Let's start with the darks and then work our ways up. So I guess I want this one. Yeah. Now I need a lighter one that I could blend this with maybe. Too cold of a color. So now I need to go back to these light rose colors because I pretty much need that tone. Pretty much I can have a bit of a difference. It's a bit too red. Maybe. I think this is even redder. No, it's not. There we go. These two. Then I need the greens. I definitely want my go-to green. And then I need a fresh dark green. This one maybe. Oopsie daisy. Throwing shit away. That's a bit too heavy. It's a bit too blue. Maybe this one. Yeah, that can still work. My other go-to green for dark shading is this one, but that's too yellow. I think. Or is it? No, I can have it as a mid-tone. We can go with 3 tones on this one. And then I actually need my black. And this is more of a Payne's gray. I think I'm good with the black. I don't need the Payne's gray. I might take a white pencil for blending. But now, here comes the trick, and I'm going to zoom you in a bit so that you can see the coloring a bit better. Hold on. There you go. That's close enough. Gonna start with the darks of the tulip, and I'm having the super lightest hand that you can have. And I'm just taking my hint from the line work here that comes with the stamp. I'm just Adding a bit of color. And it goes super fast, right? You don't need to have 1500 layers. It's actually really a bit too yellow. I don't like this. I suppose let's go a bit cooler. Let's try this one here. Yeah, that fits way better. So I just need the purples, I don't need the pinks. I need to repair this one part a bit. I'm going to darken even more by using a little bit of black here and also here, just to enhance this super dark pink. Or purple, as we just learned. It's actually in my purple stash. So just to okay. Now for the greens, I'm going to start here. With the darks again, my darkest darks. This goes here and also here. The stamp really helps in this case with the light color and the black, super dark shading in the lights being white. So you can really color this one super easy. So if you have stamps that already have the shading pretty much lined in, use them. Try them out to enhance your coloring, your shading. You could actually also find this kind of principle in coloring books, where the authors or the artists that made the books, that drew out certain things on the pages, they actually help you either with dots or with lines on where to put shading. Just saying. It's a nice little practice there. So flower number 1 on to flower number 2. There you see? Yeah, you can see. And there we go. Another important tip whenever you work, which you don't see YouTubers do a lot because of filming, turn your work so much easier on your hands, on your wrists, on your way you work, on your comfort level, because, well, some angles are really just not great to work in. Turn your work so much easier. Again, you don't see that in the videos a lot because, well, we film and we want you not to get motion sick. Still, we want you to see things the right side up and stuff. That's why we don't turn our work a lot. I still do, but would I not film, I would turn my work even more often than I already do on these kinds of videos. But if if you watch my vlogs where I just color and let the camera run while I do so, you see me turning my work so often that, yeah, you might get seasick sometimes or motion sick. Some weeks where I do that too often. All right. By the way, I really hope you're looking forward to spring as well, just as much as I do. And I would like for you to tell me in the comment section, if you so feel inclined, what you're looking forward most in spring. And what you're not looking forward to, maybe. For me, I look forward to, well, for one, a lot of yummy vegetables and herbs are gonna be in season again in the supermarket, things that I really like. Also, I'm really looking forward to planting new plants on my balcony. What I'm not gonna look forward to, allergies. So it's gonna be high season for allergies for me for about 5 or 6 weeks. And I'm not really looking forward to that. But once that's done, I'm good. Maybe they don't hit me as hard this year. Last year was really bad. It already started in February. All right. I hardly ever use the light color when it comes to these kinds of colorings, only if I really have a spot where I didn't put down the base coat of Neo colors. Because I actually like that really distinct watercolory look underneath, and I really want to have that in my light sections. But if I have a huge white spot, of course I have to add a bit of the light color. And flower number 4. It's really quick, right? Like I said. Once I have this done, I'm gonna cut them out. And then I'm gonna glue them down. Add the border to my bags, and then I will see if I need any detail, any shading or anything else on the bag, or if I'm actually fine with the way it is. So that is something that would be then quote-unquote unplanned, because I planned or imagined the design of the bag until there, so with the flower on top and the colors and the gesso and stuff, but I did not plan out or imagine any more details on the background there. So I thought I'd keep it simple. But sometimes, even if you want to keep it simple, it can be too much simplicity. So sometimes you need just a tiny bit of a shading or a tiny bit of dots or something to add to the background. Otherwise, maybe it might be too boring, or the focal point would be too overwhelmingly heavy. It depends. So I have to see that, and I think many artists too, that they sometimes have last-minute adjustments because, well, they have to see how the final work looks, and then you can adjust whatever it is that you think you have to adjust. And sometimes you even stop earlier than you would have imagined, because that is some kind of adjustment as well. If you, while you're working, see, oh, this is enough already, I don't need these many layers, it would be too busy for my taste then, or too colorful, too loud for what I want to achieve, so you stop with things earlier. All right, there we go. And dark green. Other dark green. And the light green. All right. That is that, and now I can cut them out. I find it easier, instead of rotating one of those big sheets of paper, I find it better to my hand, or easier, if I cut between each of the flowers first. And then I just have to handle that tiny paper here to cut things out. But I just saw on camera, I have to zoom you out again, because otherwise you won't see a thing, because I will probably not remember to stay in the tiny, tiny frame while cutting my tulips. So I'm just gonna go on the outline of my stamp. This is quite heavy watercolor paper. It's the Clear Fondant or something like that. I think it's 250 or 300 grams. I think it's 250 or 200 grams per square meter. So it's one of the more cardstocky papers, but it handles water really well, so it might be a bit more difficult to cut, but I don't mind. I don't have to think about using lots of water on this paper. Nothing's gonna pill. So I prefer that and maybe have a bit more discomfort while cutting paper. If you'd use a stamp where you have a stencil or a die cut with it, use that. I don't have a die cutting machine and I don't have stamps that come with anything to cut with a set. Because I'm not a card maker, I'm not a stamper per se. So I did not invest in these things. I like a stamp here and there in my mixed media stuff. But I'm more of a painter than a card maker or a stamper. I'm a crafter, don't get me wrong, but I don't necessarily need die cuts of hundreds of stamps for that. I'm fine with the few stamps that I have. And I just paint the rest or draw the rest, you know? I really hate those tiny pieces here to cut. But it has to be done, folks. It has to be done. 4 more times. Oop. Come to mama. Would have been maybe easier just to have a big white piece of cardstock on the bag, or have the tulip stamp there directly. Would have all saved me the cutting. But I actually do like the layers, though I don't really like the cutting a lot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just looking at the time. I'm going to finish one bag and then I'm going to work as long as I can until my clock says that the 2-hour mark is done and it's arrived. I'm gonna work then more on the other bags, but I want you to see one bag completed on this video, so I'm not gonna work the assembly line style that I usually work with these kind of projects. So there's our little tulip. I'm gonna put that away. Quickly need to give this a blast just to make sure everything is dry. So here's my little tulipy. Oh, that's so cute. And I need my pink strip. Just hold it there. Could actually tuck in the tulip. Yeah, something like that. See? I need my glue stick. And I'm going for the tulip leaves, the stem, and as much of the flower bud as I can get in one go. Just have to be careful now not to dip. Nope, not to dip it into the glue. The back of the bag. Just put this here. Could actually use one of my acrylic blocks now to put on top as a weight. But I already packed it away because, yeah, that is what I do. Now, going to cut the border and get rid of the release paper. It's one of those moments again. I hate that. Hold on. There we go. Just put this here. So it definitely needs some more, and I think I'm gonna be fine with just a black pencil here. Just to give this a painterly outline, like a sketch. Sometimes this is all you need. A little bit of black outlines or a shadow or something. Maybe also top of the border, just to incorporate it into the whole piece. Something like that. Need something more, maybe a white splatter. No, not a white one, a pink one, but I don't want to splatter anything and mix the colors now, so I'm going to use my gel pen in pink. Oh, that's a hot pink. No, I don't want that. It's too hot. Maybe a purple. Let's see what other gel pens we have. Oh, that's even more of a hot pink. Nope, I don't want this. I want a soft pastel one. Yeah, maybe. No. Maybe. Yeah, that's it. This is what I like. Just kind of like have a shadow on some of those lines, not all of them. Just to bring the background and the foreground together, you know. That's enough. Is it? Yeah. So I would fill this with, for example, these flower seeds. With this ones here, I have to bend the top a bit because the bags are a tiny bit too small, but that's fine, I guess. Close it up. And there's number 1 today. And I'm going for the last half hour. That's my clock is telling me that I have. I'm just going with the rest of these tulips here. Maybe have one on the other bags that I made. You can see all the photos that I'm gonna have taken once I'm done with the whole project. You can see them on my blog. Link is in the description box below. It's my webpage, pinselgeschichten.de. It's a blog where I post material lists, photos, purchase prices and stuff for the projects I show you on this video, on these videos here. So all the Draw for Initiative, all the art days, and all the Beyond the Lines videos. It's all on the blog, so whenever you look for something, a material, a color, whatever, that I used on one thing and I didn't say what exact color it was or what exact brand or whatever, and you just want to know, it's on the blogs. I'm one of those people that says, or I'm of the opinion that doesn't matter what supplies you have, doesn't hang on a particular brand to do artwork. However, there are certain brands and certain materials that maybe enable you or make it easier for you to do something. Like, for example, colored pencils on oil, rather difficult to do, but colored pencil on neocolors, rather easy to do. So, you see what I mean? Yeah. That's why I put down the information on the materials I used. I'm not always naming a brand because they all do the same and it's just, yeah, no, doesn't matter. Like, for example, cheap grocery store color pencils, like I used here. Doesn't matter if it's Crayola, if it's Enyo, if it's Faber-Castell, if it's whatever from your country. Doesn't matter, they all do the same thing in this case. But, for example, I'm definitely gonna write down the number of the Neocolor crayons that I used. so that you can check that out if you so desire. So I think I can only finish one more bag on camera, and then I'm gonna finish this video and do the rest of camera. It's exactly the same thing. I'm also gonna put together the letters. I'm gonna show you the papers that I'm gonna, or that I chose to use. But again, those papers and the envelopes and everything will be visible on the blog, but I want to show you just to have everything put together the way it's supposed to be, you know? Okay, a bit more wet. Let's take this one, give it a blast. I'm gonna glue this tiny little fraggle here. Okay, this one again. Just to measure. Okay, here. Gonna cut in between those valleys. There we go. Again, the hideous game of releasing or taking away the release paper, please. Does it work? Will it work? That's the only reason to have fingernails that are longer than my fingertip. Is to use them to get underneath the release paper. So to put that here. This one goes here, and this one goes on top. Go. Ta-da! Border done. Yeah. And again, I'm going around the tulip with my black pencil. Also gonna enhance some of those lines here, because I really like that idea. For whatever reason, with this paper here, the tulip, the blossom stands out more. It's maybe because the paper is lighter. So I actually don't think that I need to outline every piece of the tulip here. Just can do it more like this. All right. Yep. That's number 2. Let's fill it with another one of the flowers. Okay, I'm just blindly grabbing one of these bags. Once I have this filled, I'm gonna show you the paper that I chose for the letters. And then I'm gonna leave off. Come on, get in here. And I'm going to use, like I said, a sticker for those, and I'm taking one of that sheet that comes from the Random Act of Kindness, and I'm taking one of those flower buds. There we go. Number 2. So, let me quickly show you what papers I chose to take. So let's see. I have to sort them, of course, because, well, I printed yesterday. So there's the envelope, and I do have a fitting paper for this one. I think I don't have that for every paper. No, I don't. But that doesn't matter. Guess this one fits together. So let's take these 2. And this is almost the same paper. This one fits with... I like these 2 together. And these 2 are rather simple. They're black and white, so I can have the really colorful one, the envelopes with them. So I'm just gonna cut the envelopes, glue the parts that have to be glued, and then I'm gonna put that together with the flower bag into an envelope and address that envelope to the office in Chemnitz that I want to address it to. Like I said earlier, I have to sort out what offices I'm gonna send them to. But that's it for today. This is Art Day. I hope you enjoyed watching along. I'm gonna have April, of course. April Random Act of Kindness coming up. I've got another paper project in the plans for April as well. It's gonna be one of the bigger projects. I hope I can do that in one sitting, otherwise it has to be 2 videos again. There's things coming up, things that I have planned, things that I want to do. I hope you are along for the ride. If you are one of those people, like I am, for example, I like to listen to and watch other people do artwork, like real-time watching, not the speed videos necessarily. When I do the artwork, when I color, I like to have some other artist with me and pretty much have the 2 of us do artwork together. I know that sounds weird. If you are kind of creepy maybe, but it's not. It's just somebody else doing artwork talking about it, and I'm doing artwork thinking about it and nodding along or talking back sometimes even. So if you are like me that way, you can, well, just take a coloring book or take a project of art that you want to work with while you have me running next to you. You don't always have to sit in front of the screen and really look like with eagle eyes and not do anything else. I think that might be a bit boring once in a while, but do something yourself while you watch those videos. I think that would be a nice thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with a friend if you think they should see it. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do have lots of different kinds of art videos, a weekly vlog, as well as a board game podcast for you on this channel every week. Take good care, have fun, and have a wonderful day, folks. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.